Um, I'm Kathleen McLaughlin. I'm with Mature Services Incorporated, and I'm here interviewing one of our United Way Day of Action volunteers. And your name is?
Carla Sibley.
And who are you with, please?
I am the Community Relations Director for the Akron Public Schools.
Okay, and how did it happen that you chose this agency as your volunteer site today?
Well, we had two options that were offered the Akron schools. One was Salvation Army, and they have been a long time partner of ours, and many of our employees choose that option because they want to get outside, out of the office, in the sunshine, planting and growing and digging in the dirt. Mature Services was a new option offered under the United Way's Day of Action, and it was different than a lot of the others that were offered, and I thought, why not give it a try? I was certainly familiar with the mission of the organization and have known some folks to come through and receive some of the services, so I opted to give this a try.
Okay, so instead of growing plants, you're growing people today. How did it go?
I absolutely loved my experience here today. Really and truly felt that this was a very meaningful way to engage with members of our community. It is so very similar to how we interact with our young people, helping them to tap into their skill, find their talents and strengths, putting them on the right path. And so that's what I felt that I was doing today, but at the same time I was also learning and getting some of the wisdom and wise counsel from those with life experience and professional experiences, and just, being grounded in knowing that there is some assistance out there when we need it, and that this exists for folks that aren't maybe naturally connected to the resources in our community. So really, really enjoyed this day.
Okay, so part of what you did today was to meet with the people, to identify what their goals were, and to help them make contacts to get job interviews. Were you successful in getting any interviews for individuals?
Well, I understand that from this morning's session, there were 6 interviews scheduled out of the 80 plus calls that were made. I think it was either 80 to 100 calls made this morning, but I can't take credit for that. They had lists that were prepared. They made their calls and were aggressive in seeking those interviews. I'd like to have an opportunity to follow up with some of those agency contacts that were made on my behalf, on their behalf with me, to see if we can even further the success of the work done today.
I'm sure we'll be more than happy to arrange that for you.
Yes, yes.
What do you think the response was from the individuals you were here to serve? Do you think that they benefited from this personally?
I do. I received some positive feedback already, and I know that one person in particular accomplished a task that she hadn't yet been able to do, and that was to navigate the Reference USA resource. And so, we spent some time together, about 20 minutes, going through that process, and at the end of the day, she leaves with a very complete list of business targets for her to contact to follow up on interviews, potential openings, or follow-ups.
Excellent. Would you recommend someone else to come in and do this? We're thinking about doing something like this on a quarterly basis. Are there people you know that you'd recommend to come in and volunteer to do this sort of work with us?
Yes, I think if I had the opportunity to share the experience that I had today, that there would definitely be some individuals out there that would want to volunteer, their expertise and their interest in serving people to do this kind of work. I definitely think there are some folks that we could connect.
Okay, we thank you for all of your time and talent today. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we close the interview?
Just that I'm so happy that Mature Services joined the United Way Day of Action. I hope it was beneficial for the agency, and glad you're on board, and I think it will grow from this point forward, and you'll have positive results and feedback from the United Way on this.
Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.